Hi, I'm Judy BOUCHER, and I'm here at PPD Production Suite with my producer Linda Lewis. When we are in London, New York, Grenada, we tuned in to G.B.T.V CultureShare program, the best in Caribbean entertainment. I was born in St. Vincent, in a town called Georgetown. Moved to Kingstown just about 3 years before I came to England. I came to England about maybe 20 or so years ago, 25 years, joined my mother. As my mother and brothers and sisters were already in England. Found it quite an interesting place to live, although I found the temperatures quite diverse. But soon got climatized and found myself settled here. A few years later on, my brother, who was quite a keen musician, was playing on the piano, and he sort of invited me to sing along with him. That was the first time that anyone had really told me that I really do have a nice voice, and he thought that we should really start a group. I gave it a great deal of thought at the time, and eventually we did start a group called Judy, Jack and the Beanstalks. I have to laugh because everyone find it quite funny. You know the story behind Jack and the Beanstalks. We were going along quite merrily. For a few years we really did this social clubs, youth clubs, weddings, a few pub gigs, which was really quite interesting. We didn't really look for fame. I don't think we even knew how to at the time. We just thought that people on TV were people who you really don't see or meet, and we never thought that maybe one day I would be on TV also. After a few years, I gave it up. My brother moved away to the West Country to live, and we were really quite close, and I didn't want to really be in a group with anyone else. So I said I was giving it up. That I did. I did the occasional show with the occasional band that came along. But basically I just wanted to be away from the business until a few years later, a good maybe 10 years or so later on, someone who I knew very well remembered me from the group. He came to see me one Sunday and he said that he was writing songs, and at that point he had an album of songs that he would really like to record, and he thought that I was the right person to record the songs. At that point I wasn't very sure about it because I hadn't recorded before. I really, at the time, I wanted to be off the stage. Although it was fun, I just thought, well, I wanted to give it up, settle down. At the time, I had a couple of children, and I spoke to them about it. My daughter said to me, "Come on, Mom, you've got nothing to lose by doing this, and it would be something for you to do, an interest." So I said to this guy, okay, see me in a week's time and I will give you an answer. He came back in a week's time and I said, okay. I will do the album. That's if I'm good enough to do it. But that will be all that I'll be doing. After that, I'm finished. It so happened that we actually start working on the album. I didn't find it terribly easy at the time. I have to admit that. Because I think recording comes with experience also. To record at your best, you have to know how the studio works. Not to the full extent, but at least know something about it. It was frightening to me just wearing the cans and hearing your own voice coming back to you. It was something to get used to. When you breathe while you're trying to record, it just feels like the whole world is hearing your breathing, and it doesn't sound terribly healthy. So all that I had to get used to. But as time went by, things started to get into place, and we found ourselves with a beautiful album. But before that, I suppose a beautiful single, which was the single that really put me in the public eye, so to say. And still now, I'm here today, still recording. People still enjoying what I do. But yet still, there's a lot of people who think that I've given up the music. But I would just like to say, really, I'm still here, and if you really like to check your record shops from time to time, you will find that there's a lot of music there, albums, singles. I think you really need to do that. And read your papers. You'll find that Judy BOUCHER is still around and doing good. Dreaming of a Little Island. I think it was my first ever release. When I started actually recording the album with Felix De Silva, we needed maybe a couple of singles to sort of introduce the name to the public. Dreaming of a Little Island was the first release for me, and I think it was pretty successful. The Jamaican Tourist Board wanted to use that single to introduce their the holiday program for that year. I think they fell in love with the song because when it says Dreaming of a Little Island, they fell in love with it. They wanted it done for the holiday, and it worked pretty well. Hence, because of that, a lot of people thought that I was from Jamaica. But the song is structured in a way that it doesn't really matter which island you're from. You could be from any of the islands, because the record didn't really specify which island you're actually dreaming of. And that worked very well for everyone. About 1986, about the Christmas time, we released the album named Can't Be With You Tonight. This album was doing very well on the ethnic market, but there was a special track on that album that seems to have a special place in everybody's heart. That track, the same name as the album, Can't Be With You Tonight. There was so much interest in this particular track that we had to lift that track from the album and release it on a single. It was really quite difficult to get airplays, but we persevered because we knew that there was something special about it. It was a track that I really loved myself. After a while, we were just like milling over. In general, nothing fantastic happening with it. Until one day, a lady from a TV program heard it on her way to work. She actually took it to the studio and did an exercise program to it. And that's really when that single took off. I think maybe in the first couple of weeks we had managed to sell about 250,000 copies, which was quite an achievement for a newcomer at the time. After that, the record continued to sell in really quite great demand. Found herself sitting at number 2 in the national charts for 5 long weeks. Quite an enjoyable time and also very stressful. It was really quite a transition from being just an ordinary person to a television celebrity. But as time went by, I found it getting easier and easier. Hence, though, I realized that having had such a big success with a record, that it's going to get difficult. You have got to be delivering something of the same standard. It wasn't very easy, as a lot of people think once you've got a hit record in your hands, it's going to be easy all the way. It wasn't so. But we had a follow-up to that record, a song called You Caught My Eye, which also achieved a number 18 in the national charts, which was quite exceptionally good. After that, I took a little time out for reasons that I wouldn't really want to go into. But I would just like to add that today I'm still recording and doing music that I think would be appreciated by everyone. And for what I've seen is appreciated by everyone. And that's it, everyone who enjoys good, meaningful music. Having had such a huge hit in England, I then realized that I was quite popular in Europe also. So I traveled quite a lot to Germany, Switzerland, France, Italy, and found that I was really very well accepted in these countries. And the record also was a hit in these countries. So, I mean, that was very, very nice for me. I appreciated that. Then I started traveling further afield. I then was invited to go back to my native country of St. Vincent to do a live shows there, and also to Grenada. The Caribbean, I found it was really quite exciting. I think the people there are sort of looking for someone to sort of idolize. I think I fitted into that category at the time. When I first performed in my native island of St. Vincent for the first time, there was such an incredible reception from everyone. On the evening of the actual show, there were people everywhere. It was like a total roadblock. And when they actually introduced that Judy BOUCHER is going to be on stage, all the doors around the park started sort of rocking, and everyone thought that they were going to break the park down. That was a very, very eventful and emotional show. when I say emotional, I mean in the sense that it became slightly a bit dangerous for me. Because as at some point I said that I had a few photographs to give to the people, but they couldn't wait for me to give them the photographs, so they actually stormed the stage, and with that, the big speakers and everything came tumbling down. Hence, I was just sort of whisked away from the stage, and everyone really sort of got really worried. But I think that really that happened because of the, let's say, the heat of the moment when everyone's getting excited over, getting a photograph of Judy or getting a record of Judy. More or less the same thing happened when I went to South Africa. We were sort of like shooting in a mobile unit in a shopping center, and there seemed to be like thousands and thousands of people everywhere. And as they realized that I was actually there, the people actually stormed the unit, and there were children actually sleeping under the unit. People were on top of the actual broadcast unit. The disc jockey got really sort of worried that somebody's going to get hurt. So we had to abandon. And even when we did that, there were people running behind us. It seemed to be for a mile, there were people still running, shouting, "Judy Boucher, Judy Boucher." When I also performed in Grenada, I think it was 1989. That was a pretty special show. I was invited to go there and perform around, just before the carnival, and also for the regatta in Carriacou. Very nice time, as there were people coming from all parts of the world and gathering together in Carriacou. There was lots of live shows for about a whole week there, which was really quite exciting. It's a place that I could really call my second home. Everyone's always very warm and very welcoming, and I can remember a few young gentlemen getting carried away at some of the shows and actually bringing me flowers. It was quite an exciting time. When I went back to Grenada also in February, it was really quite pleasant to see those same guys supporting Judy Boucher, still bringing flowers and telling me that my songs are still as wonderful as they ever were, and that I should just keep doing it, that I should do. We've just completed a new album. This album is called Devoted to You. It's recorded here in London, myself and producer Lindell Lewis. I think this is my best album yet. It's called Devoted to You. 11 beautiful original songs on this. I think this album could go very far. We're trying our best to get it distributed or sold worldwide. So we're going to take a little time with this one and make sure that it reaches, everywhere that it's supposed to, because I think everyone should really hear this album. We've recently been to New York and realized that there is a market there for, I should say, most or all of my albums. To date, I've recorded 5 albums, 3 of which are released here in the UK. But all of the albums seems to be imported and selling very well throughout the world. We are really seriously thinking of going back to the USA and actually getting our material on the market there, because it would seem that people are really interested in this type of music that I do. It's been suggested that I do an album called The Best of Judy BOUCHER. I think this is a pretty good idea. We're really thinking seriously about this, but having just released the album Devoted to You, and I believe seriously that there is a lot of life in this album yet, that we really shouldn't be putting out another album so soon, because we still have a lot of market to cover with this album. What we're actually planning to do is to do a single for Christmas. We do have a single in mind, a beautiful one, which I'm sure everyone is going to love. And just recently, I was asked whether it's possible to record some of these songs in Spanish. This is something I have to consider very seriously, because it's the third time that anyone had said to me that you should try and record these songs in Spanish. There seemed to be a great demand for, the sort of songs that I do to be recorded in various languages. Maybe that will be my next project.
I give